Start with Ben in the fifth row on your left, John.
Hey, John, 18 innings, obviously not the result you guys wanted. For you, what stands out as, a turning point in that game? What do you go to?
There's a lot, man. I love the way we played. I love the way we fought. I think every single player had the right intentions on both sides tonight, There's a lot of things you look at. We had chances to score. They had chances to score. Yeah, a lot to digest, you know what I mean? But I think turning point's obviously a walk-off homer. But, man, I give my guys so much credit for playing the way they did, and Eric Lauer pitching the way he pitched. That's pretty unbelievable. I know Klein did the same thing for them. But a lot to unpack in that game, but I couldn't feel as good as I do right now about the way they went about it.
It looked like Bieber was in the bullpen at the very end. How close did he get to coming into this game?
Fairly, I think Little had at least 2 innings in him and kind of go from there. We were trying to navigate that a little bit, knowing that after him it was going to be Shane. And that's why Eric went as long as he did. And you gotta figure it out sometimes on the fly, but he'll be ready to go tomorrow.
Fifth row on your right, Bill.
I'm wondering, I think it was the 7th inning, you guys had a mound meeting before Ohtani came up. Could have walked him then, chose not to. Obviously, you're willing to do that later on. I'm wondering why it didn't make sense in the 7th and why it made more sense to you later on.
Mound visit, we're trying to pitch around him, you know what I mean? And you trust Sir Anthony to make pitches to do that. And sometimes for pitchers, it's hard to do that, when you're kind of trying to throw a ball and didn't put it where you want to put it. But, he had a great game. He's a great player. But I think, after that, you just kind of take the bat out of his hands.
And not to give away secrets, but this is pretty much what we should expect going forward?
Yeah.
Far back on your left, Keegan.
John, what do you make of Ohtani's entire performance today, and how did that match up against what you guys were kind of game planning for with him bullpen-wise?
His performance was really good. He's arguably the best player on the planet, I think he kind of reacted in real time a little bit. Again, man, they have a really talented lineup. It's not the easiest thing in the world to just walk him and face Mookie and Freddie. You know what I mean? So every situation is different. You gotta really execute at a high level against him. And I think the first couple games we did. I know he hit the homer off Fish in game 1, but I think that we executed pretty well, minus today. And he's a great player and took some really good swings today.
Move up a few rows, Shy.
John, as you were extending Eric and asking more from Little as well, what are some of the conversations like in terms of assessing how they're feeling and how much more they have?
Just talking to him, Eric's a starter, you know what I mean? This was obviously more than we expected out of him. It's been a long time since he's thrown that many pitches, but you watch his stuff was holding, he was executing, and he's got a great heartbeat about him, so after his second, you're kind of touching base with him, seeing how he feels, and he was really convicted about continuing to go, and I can't say enough about what he did.
The second row on your right, Jeff.
What happened with George Springer, and where's he at right at this moment?
Yeah, George, it's some right side discomfort, He's already went for an MRI. We'll see how it comes back and see how he wakes up tomorrow. But it sucks, he's obviously a huge part of our lineup. Glad I got him out when I did, and hopefully, didn't make anything worse. But we'll see how he is tomorrow.
Fourth row on your left, Gabe.
How big is the challenge to make sure that you don't lose this game twice?
Not at all. Not at all. This group is going to be ready to play tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's longest game in World Series history, whatever it is, tied for it. These guys are enjoying it. They were in the right mindset and the right headspace the entire time. You know what I mean? It sucks that it's late right now. We got to come back and do it again tomorrow. But these guys are going to be more than ready. You know what I mean? The Dodgers didn't win the World Series today. They won a game. You know what I mean? And these guys are going to be ready to go tomorrow.
All right, Schneider.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you almost feel your own mindset towards Ohtani evolve as the game went on? Like, oh, geez, we need to rethink how we approach this guy and just totally take the bat out of his hand.
Every game's different. You know what I mean? Every game's different. Every pitcher's different. Again, man, the guy's a great player. You know what I mean? So it's not. There's certain times where I feel like you feel better about someone else beating you. If that someone else is Mookie Betts or Freddie Freeman, it still stings. You know what I mean? But he had a great game, and we're going to just try to continue to execute.
All right, Schneider, it's a great effort by you guys. See you tomorrow.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.